Look what I just received in the mail. The second edition of Zulus on the Ramparts. This is the boxed edition with improved components. You may know the Victory Point Games is going back to the old designs and they are republishing them in new editions with much nicer components, with mounted counters, mounted boards, and with boxes, which is a huge thing for many gamers. To me, it's a plus, but I know that for some gamers, a Ziploc bag, a game that comes in a Ziploc bag, well, that is a deal breaker as opposed to a design that they would enjoy otherwise that comes in a box. Now, you can get the game in a box if you so wish. Zulus on the Ramparts, incidentally, is one of my favorite solitaire games. Especially, it is my favorite title in the States of Siege system that I played quite a bit in the past. This game in particular represents the Battle of Rorke's Drift. The player represents the English defenders, and the system will control the Zulus that attack the location of the defenders. Here we have the back of the box, which really tells us that the big change is that in this edition the units will be represented by counters that will be standing up, so definitely a much more interesting visual effect. Let's open the box. All right. Alright, the box opens like this with the cover sliding on or off of the main box. Victory Point Games, the game plays the thing. Sure is, but now the components are too. The box opens like this, kind of, yeah, okay. A little hard, but not too much. Here we go. Nice printed edition of the rules that now look like an actual book as opposed to the first edition in which they were printed on something that looked a little bit like a sheet of paper folded in several parts, kind of like a newspaper. Well, much better to have a nice looking rule book that really looks like a book, has a glossy cover. Here we have the board, a cardboard board. The graphics, I don't know, I seem to remember them differently. I believe they have been updated. They sure look good here. Yeah, that's definitely a nice looking board. Cards. Again, this is a main upgrade in Victory Point Games, to have cards that are actual cards for the size and for how sturdy the components are. Cards that you can easily shuffle together, that are much more durable than the original cards. To me, the upgrade in the cards in the new editions of Victory Point Games is a major factor. Dice, and again, not those little push-and dice that used to come with the game, with Victory Point Games. Baggies, but that's not the major attractive to me. And then here we have the counters that, as you can see, yeah, the counters representing the units have very attractive graphics on them now, and on top of that they will stand vertically on the board, creating, I believe, a much more dramatic effects. I think, yeah, this is a game that is definitely going to look good on the table. On top of having very exciting action, fast-paced, spectacular events going on, it is also going to look good. A little bit of advertisements, and then the mounted version of the board. And like for other Victory Point games, mounted maps you're going to put together as a puzzle, and precisely like a puzzle. I can't figure out how it's done, but that's part of the challenge. That's part of the fun of solving the puzzles. There's one of those here. I'm not looking at the other map because that would be like cheating. I'm just trying to solve the puzzle by myself. Here we go. Now, of course, this map looks pretty much like the other one there, but it is mounted, and I like that. I have to say also that there have been other mounted victory point maps that have a little bit of problems here, the junctures, that is where the pieces were originally cut with laser, and sometimes the laser had burned the edges, the illustration on the edges, so that some of these cuts here, these connection lines, were particularly visible in other maps. Here, of course, you can see that there is a connection there because it is still a puzzle, but the colors on the two edges of the cut have remained intact. I don't see that they have been affected. I don't see they look like burnt or darkened because of that. And of course, that means that as you play the game and you concentrate on the action, I believe that it's going to be much easier for you to forget about the connecting lines and just to look at the action, to look at the board. If you still don't like that, of course, you also have the option of playing with this map here. So, fun game, which I'm not going to review again in terms of gameplay. I have a video for that, a video where I explain the mechanics of the game, where I explain the main concepts, how the game plays. If you want to refresh your memory about the game, or you simply miss that video review the first time around, then you can still find that video review on my YouTube channel or on Board Game Geek. Today we are going to talk, well, today we have talked about the components. Definitely these components look good. I'm definitely happy that Victory Point Games has started this campaign of redoing their games in such much more attractive versions of games that were already great in terms of design. Now they also look very good components wise. I'm sure that this is going to be something that will help even more people getting familiar with the original, exciting and fun designs that Victory Point Games has come up with in the last couple of years.